Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits. Welcome to my 14th FlossTube. I have lots that I want to talk about today. I've got a lot that I'm working on. I have some updates on my website that I want to talk about, and I have a stitch along coming up next week. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is Instagram. I posted in my stories this week, which as of posting this will be last week, that the growth over there has been unexpected. Definitely not unpleasant. It's been interesting to watch as someone who doesn't have a very big following compared to like lots of people on the internet. It has been a bit of a learning curve, I guess. I'm finding that I have a lot more messages to respond to, comments to reply to. It's interesting. Not bad, just interesting. My cat is sniffing me for some reason. Zoe. I don't know. Anyway, so if you don't follow me over on Instagram, you should go over there anyway, regardless of the increased followers that I've been getting, because that's like my main social media platform that I post on. I keep meaning to catch up with Facebook and use Twitter more often and post on TikTok, but I only got so much energy and time in a day and spoons for the day, if you know what I mean by that I just kind of forget, I guess. So if you want to see, she's over there sniffing around anyway. If you want to see funny reels, if you want to see what I'm working on, if you want to see what I've finished, you should go over there. You can click the link in the description below to do that. Let's see some works in progress. I have a lot that I'm working on. I've started a bunch of new projects since my last FlossTube. I guess I'll just work from the top. I've got like a pile of stuff here. So I work from the top. This one is the giveaway winner that I had over on Instagram. I think I talked about this on my last FlossTube. I have such a bad memory, I'm sorry. I will just repeat it in case I didn't talk about it. So she could have done up to 4 people, but instead she asked if she could just do her wedding day. So this is her and her husband. I'm currently working out how I want to display the bubbles on this piece. My kind of default of what to do is a French knot, and I kind of want to do something a little bit different. So I'm trying to make buttonhole stitches in they're kind of technically a little diamond because it's got 4 points, but seeing if I can make that work. And I really like this bottom one, but these other two are a bit iffy. So I'm still kind of brainstorming this. Otherwise, this piece is pretty much done, which is excellent. And I really like her little dress top bit. It's a little cast on stitch. She was wearing a wedding dress that had lots of like tulle sort of sitting on her bust, and it had lots of different layers going all the way down, so you can kind of see the really subtle lines that I've done on there. But yeah, otherwise very, very pleased with how this is coming out. I'm hoping to get this sent off probably before the next FlossTube. I'm not in a rush because this is a giveaway piece, so there's no set deadline basically. So that's that one. The next piece on my pile requires a little bit of backstory. So just after Christmas, I got a couple of people asking me about ornaments, because obviously throughout December I had posted lots and lots of pictures and videos of my Christmas ornaments that I did over on Instagram. Again, you should follow if you're not already. And I decided to open up a very limited number of spots to anyone that wanted a belated Christmas ornament. I had 2 people place an order, and if you missed out, I'm sorry. I will be opening up ornaments again later this year, but this is one of those ornaments, and it's coming along quite nice. I obviously have to do hair and I need to just do decorations, and then that one is done. But I like how the little dogs come out. And I tried doing little twinkles in their eyes, which I don't hate. It doesn't make entirely a lot of sense. If you think about how an eye is formed, it's a little bit confusing, but I mean, so is just the black cross stitch as an eye. So I don't hate it, and I'll probably do it again. But yeah, so that's that piece. And I have another ornament. Like I said, there were 2 people that ordered, but I'm waiting to hear back from that customer about the wording that's on it. And she's got today, because today is Friday that I'm recording this. She has until today to get back to me. So if I don't hear from her, basically I'm just gonna go with what I have designed. And she knows that. I've given her a deadline. So that's that piece. And one piece that I can't show you. The next one on my pile is a bit boring to look at. This one, I was working on the design last night during my stream, and right now it's just this. The main thing to note with this piece is I've already unpicked it twice. The first time I started 10 spaces down too low, and that was not okay. That's too far down the fabric, because I only have this much left on the fabric. So I had to unpick it all. I'd done, as you can see, I've got this bit, so I'd done all this, and I'd come like down to about here of the circle. So I had to unpick all that. And then the second time, it was not as bad as the first time, but I'd started one pixel, I always say pixel, one square to the left, and I'd only done like 4 stitches at that point. So I'm like, just fix it, because otherwise I'd have to remember on the pattern to move everything over one. It's just easy to unpick it and do that. But this is the pattern. The thing with this one is, I don't know if I'm gonna release this pattern. This is purely a piece for me because this quote makes me laugh. So I'm making this, I'll actually add a card to this video of the YouTube video that this is from, in case you don't know what this is from. I've just noticed something that I've got to fix. I'm just gonna write that down. Okay. Anyway, that's the pattern. That's what it's gonna look like. This is the color scheme, because I've got the colors all out already. I've changed a bunch since I did the pattern last night, because I started to pull out the colors and I was like, nah, I don't like what I picked. That is just gonna be a slow, whenever I feel like working on it kind of piece, because it's just for me. That's that one. The last work in progress that I have is this one. I didn't show this one last FlossTube because I hadn't done any work on it. I haven't done too much work on it since I last showed this, but it has had a little bit of work done. I fixed a couple of things that were missing. I added some like sections that I'd accidentally skipped of colors, and I'm currently working on the dark blue, the one that you can see down in here. I was working on this, so this blue up here, I was working on it down here, and I ran out of my cut of floss, so it's not completely finished, but technically I'm working on 2 different colors right now. But this is coming along nicely. It's a lot greener than I would have expected, I'll be honest. But that could be because my print of the pattern, I had basically no blue ink. So the pattern, when I look at it, is very red and orange and yellow. But anyway, I think it looks great. Yeah, this is a piece for me, so it's no rush. I've been working on this piece for a couple of months now. And the next one in the series that I'm going to work on is Los Angeles. So that'll be good too. So that's that one. Moving on to finished products. I just finished this piece last night, and technically it's still a work in progress, but it's almost done. The work in progress part is that it's not finished in the hoop. So This is Robin. I finished this last night. This piece took me 4 hours to make. If you missed the stream last night and last week, also Thursday week ago, you won't maybe understand why it took that long. But basically, and this is the back. This is why it's not finished. I gotta cinch all this in and then it's pretty much done. I was just waiting for, I trim the edge so that it's nice and neat. And then I put no fray, which is this stuff. I put that around the edge so that it doesn't fray. And yeah, I was waiting for that to dry. And then I realized what the time was and I wanted to record this. So anyway, the reason this took so long, cat's eating plastic. Stupid cat. So, as I was saying, the reason that this piece took so long is because every single stitch you see, every single cross stitch is 3 different colors combined to make basically a new color. I haven't got around to putting everything away yet because, like I said, I was just working on this last night. But this, one sec, this, I dropped one. This is all the colors that it took. That, I haven't counted how many, but I did write them all down. So I'm gonna edit it out, but I'm gonna count how many there are. It took 32 colors to make this piece. This tiny little chicken. But I really wanted it to have like a gradient of colors. I wanted it to, if you think about how a chicken's feathers or an animal's fur or something, it looks very smooth when it changes colors. I wanted to make sure that I had all the different sections of this chicken, because it was very colorful, represented properly, but I really wanted to make sure that like its tail was darker, but when the tail goes down to the butt, it's a lot lighter. And same with the chest, like it's all yellow up here and then it goes down to some brown and then it goes all the way to gray to underneath. And yeah, so it took a long time. It was a nice challenge. I had to work on it at my desk because I needed access to all of my colors. So I couldn't rely on the pattern that I made because the pattern maker that I use, both of them, you can only combine 2 colors at once, which is not helpful for what I was trying to do, because I used 3 strands on 14 count aider, and looking at the colors on the screen on like a website that I use mostly to gauge what a color will look like without actually having to go and find the color wasn't reliable enough. So that's what I made. This is finished and this will get sent off this week. I'll obviously need to do some photos and the videos and stuff that I do as well once the piece is finished, but that is the hard part done. So that's really good. I'm very excited about that. I was thinking that this piece might take a bit longer and it wouldn't be done until like the second half of January, but here we are. So that is that one. The other finished piece I have is the stitch along piece, which is this one. So the stitch along, this is a good tangent because this is something else that I want to talk about, but the stitch along starts on Monday, which hopefully when I post this video is today. I unfortunately went to the craft store yesterday to get some more of this variegated floss so that I could match this piece with all its colors exactly, and unfortunately they didn't have it at the store. So I'm gonna have to do a different color for the bottom bit of the beanie, the mittens and the scarf. So it might look a little strange on the stitch along, so I'm a bit upset about that, but I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. But I'm sure it'll still look nice. Hopefully it doesn't confuse anybody. But yeah, that's done. It should be a good stitch along. Hopefully you can join me. I have kind of tagged it as a beginner to intermediate design because there are some stitches that are a little bit tricky, like the turkey work, the Ceylon stitch. Plaid stitch is not difficult, it's just a little bit confusing. So, but I mean, everybody is more than welcome to join it. the pattern's on my website. I'll put a link down below to where you can buy it. If you miss the first day or the whole thing, you can still get the pattern. All of the live sessions are going to be saved on Instagram video and here on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch the videos. You can't ask questions because it's not going to be live. The live sessions, I'm going to be running them on Instagram, and I'm considering doing what I did for this one, the Just Breathe Stitch Along, where I had it also streaming through Streamlabs, so that way it could do Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So I'm thinking about that. It's not terribly cheap to do that, so I'm still considering it. If I do, it'll be for the whole thing. So anyway, that's happening on Monday. Grab the pattern, join in. The sooner you get the pattern, the sooner you can get all the materials that you need. So don't delay. So that's that one. That's my finished pieces for this fortnight and my works in progress. I want to show off some things that I got at the craft store yesterday, which is not that exciting, I'll be honest, but I still want to show them off. So I'm thinking this year I want to try and do a little bit better at displaying my finished pieces, kind of like what I did with the Christmas ornaments, where I had elements to decorate the piece. So I went to the craft store and they still had lots of stuff on sale for like Christmas and even Halloween. So I grabbed some things for my kids to play with in the car, just random stuff that was like 80% off. But I did get these cool feathery things, and I thought they might be kind of fun to like have on the side of a portrait that's a little bit dark in style. So that I got those. I got these dried pretend plants. I think they're pretend. I don't even know, but they have a smell to them. It's supposed to be eucalyptus, which is strange because in Australia, eucalyptus trees do not look like this. Yeah, it says eucalyptus. Okay. They're a bunch of different sticks of it, so I can like, when I open it up, I can pull them apart and lay them out nicely. So I got those two decoration-y things. I've got other decoration stuff, and obviously I've got like lots of floss and scissors and other notions that I can use too. I did get some more floss. I picked up a post-it note. So I got all these flosses. I'm trying to hold them up and lay them out. Yeah. So all these flosses, I basically got some colors that I was really low on, some colors that I use quite frequently, such as this one. I use that gray a lot, and this red. Thank God for those new 35 colors, because this red is the best red. Yeah, some browns, and putting them up the wrong way. Hold on. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Some browns and grays, and I got a yellow that I was missing, I think, or at least I can't find it. So I've got that yellow now, and I got these light effect ones. So I got these to give this a bit more oomph. That's the plan. I'm thinking that this one here will work really well for bubbles because it's kind of got like a blue hint to it, but it's also like a rainbowy sparkle. But I also got this, it's kind of like a coppery white, and this one's just a silver. So I'm going to be giving them a try with the bubbles. I'll be trying this blue one first, because I think that'll work nicely. It's going to be a pain, but I also am kind of hoping that since it's so stiff feeling, it might actually make it curved a bit nicer than this. I'm currently using a Tolly thread to do these bubbles, and a Tolly is very soft and floppy, kind of like the cotton strands. So we'll see how it goes. So I got that, and I was kind of, I don't want to say naughty, but I don't know what else to say. I got an anchor thread. So I got this color. I don't know what the color names are for anchor, but I got this one anchor thread, and I'm nervous because I'm worried I'm gonna be like, I need them all now. And they're a little bit more expensive than DMC, and they're only 1 strand instead of a 6-strand embroidery floss. But I got this because it's a much darker, deeper brown, and I thought that it might work really well for people who have almost black, like black hair, because it's darker than the darkest brown in DMC. So I got that too. I got some other things that are kind of not really stitchy related. I got some cat ears for my daughter and a wreath hanger for the front door, and yeah, some other stuff. So moving on to my Ort jar. I have talked about my Ort jar. I don't actually know if I've talked about it on my FlossTube, but I've talked about it online before. If you don't know what Ort means, it stands for old ratty threads. And basically, instead of just throwing away the tiny little tail of a piece of floss that you can't use for anything else, you save it. And people like to put them in a jar. So this is my jar for 2021. You can see a lot of projects, like there's some turkey work there, and around here is a lot of the green from the house, and there's a lot of purple in this and pink from my stitch alongs. And yeah, I can't explain why I like these, I just really do. They just make me happy. And I've been saving my Orts since I actually restarted stitching back in 2018, and I save a jar per year. I unfortunately cannot find my 2018 jar. I know it's somewhere, but we've moved, I think, 4 times since that one was last sealed up. So it's somewhere, and it's in that deadly safe place that I'm sure you know what I mean. But I also wanted to show you the other 2 Ort jars that I have. So this one, you can see the difference too. Like I did a lot more stitching last year than I have in previous years. And that's a lot to do with the fact that I've done a lot more embroidery, because that's a lot more wasteful with floss. But anyway, this is 2021, which is kind of cool. It's got like a little flat end so you can sit it like that. But yeah, this is 2020, not 2021. 2020. And then this one, again, you can see the size difference. This one's 2019. So this one has a lot of my Overwatch work, basically. There's a long strip of gold in this bit here. It's just kind of cool. There we go. It's like all the way through here. So yeah, these just make me happy. I intended a couple of years ago to turn them into Christmas ornaments. No. Oh, Zoe's just seen these and she's trying to get them. Zoe is one of our cats, in case I haven't pointed that out, because she's the terrible cat. She is a bitch, basically. Anyway, what I was saying was I intended to turn all of these into Christmas ornaments at the end of the year and have like the year written or stuck on or whatever. I don't have I would call it a cry cut, just to be clear, but I believe Americans call it a cricket. One of those like vinyl cutter thingies. I don't have one of them, so I don't know how I would decorate it, but that was the intent, that I'd put them all in out of the jar and into a clear bauble, and then it would be a Christmas decoration. But I want to see them whenever I want to see them, not just at Christmas time. So I never ended up doing that. But anyway, this is this year's jar. It's a little bit underwhelming. It's got some stuff in it because I've been stitching. It's got the turkey work actually from the chicken, because the chicken has some turkey work hair. So it's got turkey work shavings in there, which is cool. Anyway, I just want to bring up again the stitch along that should be starting today, ? I'm hoping to edit this in time to upload it Monday morning. So fingers crossed for that. So this is the last stitch along that I have plans for doing. I don't get a lot of return on investment when it comes to stitch alongs. I know people enjoy them. I get comments, I get DMs and comments from people saying that they learnt a lot and that it was really helpful and that they really just enjoyed it, which is pretty much the main reason why I'm doing this one. The other main reason is because I always intended to do a like companion stitch to the summer vibes piece. That's why this one's called winter vibes. Unless people show more interest, I don't have any more plans to do stitch alongs in the future. I do, however, have plans to basically do a stitch along but without the live part. And so the video would be a lot more succinct and edited, and it would be just like one video. You watch this one video and it shows you everything you need to do to create this piece. So I have plans on doing that instead this year, because I can then, I guess, crank out a lot more patterns that way. So stay tuned for that. I have been enjoying doing embroidery work. It's obviously freeing. You can do whatever. You're not restricted to little squares. So yeah, stay tuned. I got 2 more things to talk about, and I'm looking at the time on my camera and it's telling me that I've been talking for a while. I should have started the video saying that this would probably be a long one, because I actually managed to note down things that I wanted to talk about, so hang tight. The next thing that I want to talk about is being an Etsy star seller. I have had months where I have been an Etsy star seller and haven't been an Etsy star seller. And although I don't push people through my social media channels or the emails that I send out or whatever it may be, I send people to my website because my patterns are cheaper. In a lot of cases, my patterns are free, blah, blah, blah. Etsy take a huge chunk of my revenue. They have numerous fees that are just, don't get me started, basically. But their notoriety and their marketplace search and all of that website jargon, I guess you could say, is too good to pass up. So you've probably, well, maybe not, but you may have noted that I have quite a lot of my patterns, and I've got, I think, all of my fonts there. I've stopped pushing people to go there to purchase Stitch People portraits, just because it's, the fees and the restrictions and the worrying about reviews and everything is just too much. So I sent, if you ever request a commission from me of like a thing to stitch, I will send you to my Ko-fi page, which you can see a link for down below, as that is a website that doesn't take any fees. I donate money to them to help their website continue running. But anyway, my point is, being an Etsy star seller is frustrating me. It shouldn't be something that has been on my mind, because Etsy is so far on the end of the list of things that are of importance to me and 2 little kids. But with this new star seller thing that they have introduced, I fret about reviews. I fret about the silly respond within 24 hours thing. I don't actually have to worry about the shipping because all of my stuff is digital. So I've only got those 2 things, and the exposure you get from when you are a star seller compared to when you're not is just insane. The first 2 months that they had introduced it, I was a star seller, and then I destroyed it because I got a message while I was, well, it was like the weekend or something, and I responded within like 25 hours. So because I don't get many messages, it brought my rating down under the like 80% that you required or something, whatever it is. No, it's 90%. I noticed a massive drop in visits and favorites and purchases, and it's just, I guess my point of this is just to vent, but also to tell people to please have your own website if you're on Etsy. There are so many applications out there that will let you do your own shop on your own website. It not only looks really good for your business, people can search your business name and actually find a real website. That's like super important for a business to have. Etsy are also very well known for completely shutting down a shop at a moment's notice over a mistake or a miscommunication, and they won't let you open your shop again. So this whole star seller thing is just another nail in the coffin for Etsy, in my opinion. If you are thinking about selling your own stitch people portraits or making your own patterns and selling them, or whatever it may be, even if you don't do stitching at all, please have your own website, please. And don't fret. I mean, do try to get star seller, because it does mean that you are higher in their search algorithm, but you should be pushing people to go to your website instead of your Etsy shop. That's the end of my rant for that. So the last thing I want to talk about, and I kind of have to be quick because I need to get my kids from school because it's Friday. The last thing is my shop, my website. So I'm hoping that either this week or the following week, I will be doing a major update on my shop backend. That means, and I've been trying to figure out how to like tell the world this, so just bear with me. In November of 2019, I changed not all, but most of my cross stitch patterns to be pay what you want pricing. So you could put in $0 and you could get the pattern. You could put in $100 and get the pattern. Whatever you wanted to do, you would get the pattern. All you needed was an email address because we needed somewhere to send the pattern. It's been 2 years of that now. I'm tired of it, I'll be honest. I work hard on these patterns. I now have 2 test stitches that have also worked hard on my patterns. I don't get enough recognition or appreciation for people getting these things for free. So I've made the really hard decision to not only very soon change my shop to only include a couple of free patterns, but change the price from $0+ to whatever it is I've recommended on the product listing page. That's the price it'll be. I also will be, and this is why it's not just an instant switch, I'm also moving my shop's back end to Shopify. I have been using Gumroad since 2018 to list and deliver my cross stitch and now embroidery patterns, and they haven't caught up with my needs for an online shop. I have requested them to make changes. I've requested updates and fixes and quality of life changes, and it's just, I'm being ignored, which is fair enough. I'm one person. Their shop kind of motto is not designed for someone like me who has, gosh, I don't even know, like 50 product listings, because I've got all my, it might not look like it, but I've got all my Overwatch characters, and that's a lot. The only place that you can get them is on my website. I don't have them on the Gumroad profile because they were not as popular as I had hoped. So they just took up a lot of space, basically, and I just hid them away, pretty much. They're still available, they're just hidden away. So I've probably got them like 70 odd items. Gumroad is creaking. It's my little shop on Gumroad is not doing well. And also the checkout process for Gumroad is atrocious. I've had so many complaints from customers not understanding what to do. So I am moving away from them, and I'm moving my shop to Shopify Lite, which is going to use the website that I have already, and I basically like inject Shopify into it. So it's taking me a little bit longer than I had hoped. I mean, just moving everything over to Shopify, because it's from somewhere like Gumroad that's not a big website that I could just export and then import. That's taking its time as well, but suffice to say, hopefully things will be a little bit better on my website regarding the checkout process. Just pointing it out again, that if you are wanting any patterns that are pay what you want pricing now is your time to get them, because they will not be free again unless like I have a sale or something like that. But Shopify is a lot more robust. It's a lot bigger of a company, and I've done months of research and questioning myself, and yeah, so it's time. It's the new year. This is going to happen this month, so stay tuned, and hopefully it's a lot better. And with that, that's everything that I want to talk about this fortnight. I hope that you check out the Stitch Along. Let me know what you think, and if you might join, that would be excellent. Especially if you join live, it's so much more fun for me to answer questions while I'm going. So having people join me live is really good. And I will update Instagram, as I've said, and likely Twitter, if not Facebook as well, with where you can watch it. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm considering allowing it to stream through other services as well as Instagram. So keep an eye on those. Hopefully I see you on Monday. Otherwise, Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2 weeks.